If you aren't aware, there's controversy surrounding the content creator the Alfonso Nation, who is a fairly popular Transformers YouTuber, and recently a lot of stuff came out about him that exposes him for bullying and harassing other content creators using alternative accounts, as well as hyping himself up using alternative accounts, which is really funny and really sad at the same time, faking a lot of elements about his life, being racist, homophobic, transphobic, any phobic you could think of Alfonso Nation has, as well as grooming. That's not everything that came out against him, but the big thing is grooming. And I thought we wouldn't get a response from him. I thought, being who he is, I thought he would just be like, well, I'm religious now, therefore everything I've done is invalid. But no, he actually did make a response to it, and spoilers, it sucks. But before we talk about the response, I want to follow up on some things that were mentioned in my previous video. In my previous video, I talked about how there was a live stream that talked about the allegations against Alfonso Nation. And if you look in the description, you would notice that there is a lack of a link to a live stream. And well, originally I just couldn't find a live stream, so I just figured like, oh, well, I guess it was taken down. Well, we actually have a reason as to why it was taken down. This comes from both some Transformers guy as well as Linkamus Prime, who were both involved in getting this information out there. I'm just going to show you that Transformers guy's comment. Unfortunately, the YouTube live stream has become unlisted due to worries from guests of legal action being taken for defamation after discovering Alfonso Nation was in the chat watching. When the live hosts feel it is safe, then it will go back up and be publicly accessible once again. Sincerely, Senny, that Transformers guy. So once it comes back up, it will be linked in the description down below. But there's another comment I received from that video from Primus the creator, who is a popular Transformers content creator, and I'm just gonna read his comment and what he has to say. The amount of things he said to me, what he wanted to do with me, what he wanted to do if he had his way with me at the hotel room during TFCon 2024, even at his house during TF1, offering me money to please him. He always liked being around me, always being very touchy with me. I was always uncomfortable. He liked me. He wanted me. He got super jealous if I hanged out with anyone who wasn't him. People asked why I distanced myself from him, why I don't talk to him anymore, and why I don't want him in my life. This is why, and so much more. To this day, I'm still traumatized. He only ever cared about his image, and he would do anything or say anything to protect it. This is why, and so many others didn't come out with this at the time. He would stir up lies, make us look like the bad guys to protect himself, throw us under the bus. He only cared about himself. I just hope no one goes through what my friends went through, what I went through. So yeah, if you can't tell already, the Alfonso Nation is a genuinely awful human being and should not have the platform that he does. So now you're probably curious about the Alfonso Nation response. I talked about it earlier and how it basically sucks. Well, I need you to prepare for this response. So like I said, I didn't think he would respond, but he did in a YouTube community post. This is his community post. It is long, and I don't know how he was able to do this, but somehow he was able to turn a response to grooming allegations into a yap fest about himself and Christianity. I'm not even joking. The majority of this response is talking about himself. He is probably the most self-centered content creator I have ever seen. Holy shit. It is ridiculous. And you know what? The cherry on top to this, he added a photo of himself aura farming. He is one of the most self-centered assholes I have ever seen on YouTube. And as you see, he got ratioed like crazy. This response was not taken well. I'm glad a majority of people are seeing through this bullshit. So I think the best way to go about this is to literally just read this response. So let's just get into this. I want to address the recent controversy that's been circulating regarding my past friendships and actions during that time. This situation involves mostly private matters from over 2 years ago that have now been publicized, some public. While I understand they claim to seek telling the truth about what happened, I don't agree with the method, as these are things I mostly already held myself accountable for and apologized for. But here, I'm going to pursue resolve instead of inflating any drama. I'll say it plainly, there are things I said and did during that time that were inexcusable and wrong. Some of it was just immature, some of it was harmful, some of it was said in a trolling / edgy way, as we do often as a group. Some of it was due to genuine tensions I may have had, but a lot of it was just from poor character. Regardless, I take full responsibility for all the things I said and did, and I have apologized privately and owned up to these things I was confronted about. All of it was insanely sad and immature, honestly. That entire era of my life was just not healthy for me, mentally or spiritually at all, for private reasons I won't get into, and it really showed in how I acted. I would see many call me out for it, but brushed it off as haters. I didn't truly realize how bad things were until it started affecting my closest friends after they expressed how hurt they were about it. I want to stop it right there because he added these two things to where he switches from addressing the drama to talking about himself. Was this intentional? I'm genuinely curious if he actually was like, okay guys, now since I addressed the drama, I gotta talk about myself now. So I want to talk about this stuff real quick because there are some things I need to mention. Notice how he never once mentioned what he's accused of. He summed it up as stuff that was like inexcusable and wrong, immature. Some of it was harmful. Some of it was just trolling slash edgy, and a lot of it from poor character. You are being accused of grooming with evidence. You cannot just sum it up as like, guys, there's some inappropriate things I said in my past. You need to mention what you did. This is why I feel bad for people that accept Alfonso Nation's apology, because they only know his side of the story, and his side of the story is just leaving out important details about what he's actually being accused of. It's insane. I also want to talk about this apology that he did privately, as I was able to talk to Linkamus Prime, who was the main person that brought out all this information. I was able to chat with him about this specific thing because I was curious, because I did see someone claim that all of them were just copy and paste apologies and weren't real apologies. So I was curious about that. So I asked Linkamus Prime and I got his permission to share these DMs that he sent me. So let me just get right into it. Hold on, I gotta open my phone real quick. Back when we cut him off in October 2024, on October 20th, we confronted him about his behaviors and the things we found out about him. Things regarding his controversies, but also the way he treated the former Alfonso Nation execs. We were all just done with him, especially what we all found out. I can't fully remember if he was called out in the chat regarding grooming Frankie and I, so I won't give an answer on that. In case of any misinformation, Frankie has stated he plans to going public next month, so I will say it's likely he will go more in depth regarding Alfonso's apology before we all kicked and banned him from our chats in Discord. I can say, and everyone from that chat, around 18-20 people who witnessed this play out, can confirm that he was bullshitting his apology. Also, yes, the copy-paste apologies have happened more than once actually. The most recent one was from back in February, was when he reached out to Frankie, effectively trying to keep him quiet. That's how it came across, at least. Here's evidence, by the way, from October 20, 2024, when we confronted him apologizing and admitting the alt accounts as well as other things. I should have posted these, but there are so many screenshots and so many things I was trying to do to get the main point that I couldn't find a way to incorporate these without getting the right reach. We have more screenshots of alts he made even after all this, which proves his behavior never changed after the apology. So yes, his behavior's never changed. He pulls the same shit over and over, and no matter what he says publicly, he will never mean it. In short, however, this is all true, but his statement regarding apologizing to us wasn't enough to change the fact that he was weird towards me, Frankie, and other members of the group who wish to stay anonymous, as well as many others who never got an apology from him who were outside of the group that he was inappropriate towards. A lot of unspoken testimony from so many others who deserve justice. This is less of a matter of making what happened to us known, but to also give those affected a platform to organize their experiences and speak about it. Let's move on to just him talking about himself. But what has not been mentioned and needs to be mentioned is that since then, I've spent a significant amount of time reflecting, growing, and allowing God to work on areas of my character that needed change. From therapy to church involvement, being mentored, lots of personal growth, and truly changing my ways. I can confidently say that I no longer struggle with any of these vices I once did that led me to being such a fraudulent person. But it is going to be framed as I still do, which is a disservice to the truth. I also have an abundance of screenshots and clips to support that. To support that I wasn't the only one involved in edgy slash trolling and some inappropriate behaviors that some will likely only show me doing. I won't reveal private details of things unless needed because I respect the private nature of what happened and won't try embarrassing anyone in return. There is no person on earth who has not said slash done horrible things that they shouldn't have, or haven't suffered from any bad character. So notice the immediate shift into just talking about himself, being like, yeah, I did these bad things, but there's evidence of everyone else doing bad things. This is genuinely pissing me off, bro. This sucks, bro. This is such a terrible apology. My past is my past. It is behind me. I literally cannot change it, but I have changed because of it. I am so much closer to God today than I've ever been, with true peace in my heart, true love in all relationships slash new friendships I'm involved with, and new callings for my journey ahead beyond this franchise. I cannot allow obstacles to stand in its way. Also, I do not apologize for any spiritual, Christian slash political beliefs I hold. I am entitled to those, so that isn't related to any of this. So yeah, he's not apologizing for being racist, homophobic, transphobic, all the phobics, which I figured because he literally never apologized for it. He always just pulled the like, well, I'm religious and this is just what I believe in. But who I was is not who I am. I am far more mature, humble, considerate, empathetic, wiser, loving, and grounded than ever before. more. This is mainly why I already stepped back from the channel in the second half of 2025 to continue focusing on my journey with Christ, long before any of this went public, which I'm still currently doing and will continue doing. I cannot expect the internet to reasonably consider the sincere changes I went through, but God sees it, and that's all that matters. In the end, it's Him that I seek to please with my life and who I ultimately answer to. Also, please no harassment. I will protect my peace. I genuinely apologize to everyone that my past actions / words has hurt and disappointed, and for misrepresenting myself to the public. He unironically dropped a "I'm sorry you feel that way." Like, does this not scream a "I'm sorry you feel that way"? I genuinely apologize to everyone that my past actions / words have hurt and disappointed. This just screams "I'm sorry you feel that way." He unironically dropped a "I'm sorry you feel that way" in his response to grooming allegations. I understand the anger and desire to unfollow / unsub. I get it. To everyone that has supported the channel all these years, with all my heart, I thank you. Now he's talking about his fucking YouTube channel in the response to allegations. This is not how you respond, bro. This is just not how you do this. To everyone that has supported the channel all these years, with all my heart, I thank you. I am grateful for literally all of it. I take none of it for granted and won't forget any of it. I won't outright say I'm ending the channel, but I have no foreseeable plans to continue right now, but only to continue through this personal journey that I've been on, towards new and more fulfilling pathways / experiences. My heart has been overcome these past few years with nothing but mission and purpose, to use my time and efforts for the spread of the gospel, and to bring a message of hope and healing to others who also struggle from broken character. That's my greatest passion now, simply put, another transformation. Much love to all our one. 1 John 1:8-10. He went from addressing the allegations to his relationship with Christ, dropping a "I'm sorry you feel that way," and then talking about how he's ending the YouTube channel. That's his response. That's the response. And I can't forget this photo of him aura farming. That's important. That needed to be added. You know what's crazy to me? I know this has nothing to do with like anything I'm talking about, but if you look on his channel, he's saying he's ending the channel, right? If you look, he still has memberships up. He literally said he's ending the channel, yet still has the join button available. He's still making money from his fans who he has abandoned. What a fucking scumbag. The least you could do is close memberships. So you know how he talks about how he's grown and changed as a person? He posted on his Instagram story for his Christian account saying, "I made so much progress of Jesus these past couple of years. Through community, reading, worship, consecration," I hope I said that right, "new heart, new mind, new character, new purpose, all things new. The broken person I was has died, and he's never coming back. One day I'll share my full testimony. Till then, my passion is the work of the kingdom. No turning back now. Stay tuned, just the beginning." So you know how he said that? It has been confirmed. He has alternative accounts commenting on his response. I am not joking. This is real. This is true. He is still making alternative accounts to this day. Let me try to find it. I'm so certain I can find it. Hold on. Did he delete it? I found it. Holy shit, I found it. Let me show you this. This account right here is confirmed to be an alternative account that was made exclusively for this response. Hold on. Let me show you when this account was made. Made April 21st, 2026. Do you know when this response was posted? Like April 21st. He literally made this account just to hype himself up in his response to allegations. This guy is such a fucking chud, bro. This guy is such a loser. Let me read this comment. Who definitely is not Alfonso Nation, who made an alternative account after this was posted to hype himself up in his response. "Hey Alfonso, I always loved watching your videos and toy hunts, haha. I may not know what happened, but as a brother of Christ, I understand you. All the bad things we have done, all the hurt we caused others, sure it's bad, but don't we all sometimes do that? He groomed people. He's a groomer. And that's why I wanted you to know, these other comments here who are hating you because of Christ, know that they hated him first. And Jesus doesn't care about your sins and terrible things anymore because he has forgiven you and will remember it no more." He unironically believes in his head that all of his past actions are forgiven because Jesus forgave them. That is what he's saying. This guy uses Christianity as a scapegoat. I just want to send you this message right now to encourage you. Nothing is impossible through Christ. And that's why I'm so happy you're pursuing him. It's honestly motivating me, and I believe it will too to many others. I love you, and I pray that in these dark times you will pursue him even more, for he is the only that satisfies us, and keep that up. It's not through our own strength that will get us through our tough times, but Jesus's. Love you, man. It's so amazing to see you are willing to change and is changing. To all are one. So someone says, so you'll forgive a groomer. This is what Alfonso Nation says, by the way. This is what he believes. To be honest, no one's perfect. We have done many mistakes in our life, But the good thing to do is that we should change our ways. Taking zero accountability. I thought his fucking response sucked. It is clear to me that he is not taking any responsibility for anything he's done. This guy turbo sucks. This guy is genuinely an awful person. Holy shit. I now cannot believe I used to be a fan of his content. I used to be a fan of him. So yeah, think of his response to this whole response to Alfonso Nation. He posted on his Instagram story. If you all saw Alfonso's recent YouTube community post, you will notice how utterly laughable it is as to what he says. It's true, he has screenshots from group chat conversations that are less than favorable. Conversations that are had between most friend groups and group chats. He can release what he wants if he chooses to do so. But none of it will compare to the act of grooming people when you weren't even joking. The difference between what he has and what we have is what we have on him is him being serious, and what he has on us is us making dark, edgy jokes, lol. He believes he has changed after his past behaviors, but the fact is, he has still been making alt accounts to harass people. He has still used religion as an excuse to not fully own up to what he's done, and he has no regard for the channel he built that thousands of people are followers of, and still chooses to just leave them behind. I get it, we aren't content slaves, but the least you can do is a proper farewell instead of just dipping for God. And then he also commented on my video saying this: I saw Alfonso's post regarding addressing the matter, but like you said, it was full of BS, and he never denied anything, which was honestly unexpected, because in our experience, he was always a lying snake to us with specific things. He says he has screenshots of our past conversations, early PDP days, that would make us out to be less than favorable. If he does, that only shows cowardice on his end, which is probably why he hasn't dropped them yet. He also claimed he wouldn't release anything unless needed. So I wonder what the line will be on that. Either way, what I can say truthfully on that, since it's been addressed, is that yes, it's true. He has screenshots and screen recordings and conversations from that group. While they present edgy dark humor that, let's be real, a lot of group chats partake in. But I won't use that as an excuse, as we will all take accountability for what may have been said by us, probably when it's released by Alfonso. Unlike Alfonso, who has only hid from his problems for years, and also unlike him, things said in those screenshots and screen recordings that he was taking while we were still friends, which is a major breach of trust, are actually jokes and not serious, unlike the inappropriate comments he made towards me, Frankie, and others, which he actually meant. So yeah, that's the Alfonso Nation response. It turbo sucks, didn't take any accountability for anything he did, and unironically dropped a "I'm sorry you feel that way." This guy turbo sucks, a truly awful human being who does not deserve a platform, and is probably the most self-centered asshole I think I've ever seen. I'm gonna end it here. This is probably the last time I'll talk about this stuff, unless there's anything major that comes out of it. Yeah.